We're going to create for you another vegan meal with eggplant. And these eggplants come from my garden, so they don't have any pesticides. They taste simply delicious and they're fresh. We're going to coat them with shredded, bite-sized shredded wheat that you can buy at any of your grocer. What's special about this one? No sugar. Of course, we're going to add the traditional tofu to it, as it's going to be dipped in tofu and then dipped in the shredded wheat and then baked in the oven at 350 degrees for about half an hour. So come and see how I put this meal together. I'm sure you'll love it. See you in a bit.
Welcome to Healthy Vegan Living, a whole food plant-based lifestyle.
Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to slice this up into nice round radial pieces. We're going to use the dipping sauce we're going to use is going to be, in this case, House Foods soft tofu. Now I only use soft tofu for sauces. That's the only reason I use it. When I want food in my tofu in my regular meals, I use extra firm because I want the texture. And this is bite-sized shredded wheat, which will replace the breadcrumbs. Okay, so we're going to turn this off, and then I'm going to start working on the eggplant. Now, you're going to use tofu. Tofu is packed in water. So what you want to do, you want to save as much of the tofu water as possible. But you don't want to get it wet for your shredded wheat crumbs. So you want to make sure that this is okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to put it in this plate. And we're going to cut it open right here like this. Okay, and then we're going to pick it up in here. And you're just going to pour it. Now remember, this is soft tofu. It's going to look a little bit different than the extra firm tofu. Now take the rest of the cover off. And you pour the rest of the water in. Of course, it's without saying, your hands have to be clean. You're going to save this because when you mix the tofu together, you're going to mix it with this. Okay, so watch. So this is the block, and we're going to take about this much, which is about a fifth of the block. And to get it off, you just got to go like this. See how it fell off? Now this is going to go inside a plastic container. And what you do is just simply pick up the container and go like this. And I always like to taste it before I start. So that's going to be my little piece there right here. To store it, you need to store it in a container like this, filled with filtered water. Put the cover on top. The reason why you don't want to use chlorinated water is you don't want to impart that water flavor into your tofu. But if that's all you have, that's what you have. And stick it in the fridge. Tofu is a little harder to freeze, so you can put it towards the back of your refrigerator and it won't make any difference. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to put this in a blender along with this water just to get a mild sauce. It's going to go in here anyway. And that's our next, we'll get the parts for that, so I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so what you see here is a blender. What we're going to do is we're going to put the soft tofu in it. What you want is a cream just enough to be able to take care of. So you're not going to put much water in. This is the juice that came with the tofu. We're just going to put a little bit in. Alright, so as you notice, it was spitting everywhere, which is why... Oh, did I get the lens? Yeah, I did. No, I didn't. So that's what you want. We're going to try to reduce it even a little more. We're not putting any more juice in that. There goes. Now, reducing was the wrong term. I'm just trying to get all the lumps out of the side. Let's see how this looks. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Now watch, it's going to go right over here. I don't mean any more than that. We're going to put all of it in. And whatever is left, well, I'll find some purpose for it. But there won't be that much left. This is just a light coating. Okay, the next way you do is you put this like this. You put the tray on the cutting board. And remove all the pieces that are not needed right now. Alright, now this is all ready to go in the oven, so the next thing to do, we're going to set it on bake, 350 degrees, and we're going to start. It says it's 100, but never is. When it's 350 degrees, we'll put it into the oven, and then voila, we'll be able to eat. Okay, see you in a little bit. The oven is at 350 degrees, so we're going to stick this in. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to touch the timer, and the timer will be for 30 minutes. And it's going. Alright, now we just have to wait for the 30 minutes, and I'll show you what it looks like at the end. Alright, so now it's been half an hour, and this is what they look like. But before we do that, we got to turn off the oven. Right there, can you see it? Now watch that disappear. First close your oven door and press cancel. And now the dot's gone. And then go back down here. Then take a couple off. We're going to just test them out. Now I am going to warn you that if you do use shredded wheat, and if you eat shredded wheat like I do, a lot of the times, it's going to smell a lot like shredded wheat. I'm curious to see if it tastes like shredded wheat. Okay? Move this pan out of the way. Okay, so now then take one of these bites, like this. Shredded wheat. This is, I get this at Stater Brothers. This is what I use for the topping of the eggplant. The eggplant was fresh from my garden. Okay, so did it taste like shredded wheat? A little bit. But the underlying underneath the shredded wheat is the eggplant. Now this has no salt or any kind of seasoning. And yet it tastes delicious. And with a little bit of tofu, it raises fish, vegetables, and gives you a little bit more protein. But this is nice. And with a little salt and a little pepper and other seasonings, I think it can fit your table very well. Well, thanks a lot for joining us and watching our video, and we look forward to seeing you in our next recipe. Especially if it comes from your garden.
Can I turn my sound on now?
Go ahead, Mom.
Subscribe to us and give us a thumbs up if you like this video. Thank you for watching.